know, it's 14 workouts, and as you saw, there are some really cool moves in there. And the thing that sets this franchise apart from any other workout program is the guy who helps us put it all together, who finds the experts, who weaves together sort of a tapestry of what's the latest and greatest in training. Please join me in welcoming Tony Horton. You know, when Hudgens was up here, he made this thing look like a little step stool. And I'm like a really tall one. Really? Okay. So, what can we expect from the next P90X?
Well, you know, we've learned a lot in 7 years. I'm sort of a Dr. Jekyll of fitness, you know, so I'm always talking to the right people. I always want to, I want to go to the next level. So we've added stability balls and medicine balls. You know, we've changed the yoga. It's not necessarily an hour, it's 2.5 hours this time. We've learned what our customers want, right? So it's about power and strength and stability and coordination and stamina. You know, it's about athleticism. You know, there's 3 different levels to it. There's the food system has changed. You know, dietary aspects of it have changed. So, you know, as we grow as a company, as our customers become more savvy, we work with them, we change it, and it's going to blow your mind.
You know, the concept of P90X being built on muscle confusion, how does P90X2 build on that?
Well, I think certainly one of the reasons is, you know, functional fitness, core fitness, those aspects of it. I mean, in a traditional P90X routine, you do wide push-ups and narrow push-ups, and those are great. Of course, they build strength. But, you know, now we do push-ups on 4 medicine balls. And we do plyometric push-ups on a stability ball. And we put our hands on a medicine ball and our feet on a medicine ball. It's like plank, 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 you know, we're constantly engaging our core. So instead of just working parts, which is still great, you know, we still are still some spot training in P90X, but a vast majority of the exercises, based on the exercise science, you're working with Marcus Elliott, we've learned that it really is, it's not only about weight loss and losing inches, you see numbers on the scale, it's about becoming better, stronger, leaner, more flexible, and doing it in 5 days instead of 6.
Well, certainly the athletic side of it, we'll get to that. The athletic side of it is attractive. You know, we've had incredible success with Asylum following up in Stanley with more of a sports bent. And I know this is highly sophisticated training, but for many people out there, still the motivation, and you know, for me, is keeping trim, keeping lean, continuing the visible transformation at the same time that they want to be better athletes or just more mobile. Will P90X2 continue to further the transformation along from P90X?
Yeah, because, you know, if you look at the best bodies in the world, they're from athletes. Right? So athletes focus on power, strength, speed, agility, vertical height, lateral movement. So as an effect of why they're working out, their bodies automatically change. They automatically burn calories. They automatically become smaller and leaner and build six-packs and delts and great quads and great butts because of the speed and the agility and the balance and the coordination in the actual routines that they're using. So the average customer, you know, it's a performance-based exercise routine. It requires skill. Just like with P90X, a vast majority of the folks that have done P90X couldn't do a lot of the moves for the first 30, 40, 60 days. Because that's the whole idea. If you were good at this stuff at the beginning, it doesn't work. So the fact that it is difficult and you have to learn some of the moves is the reason why Jeremy O is 180 pounds with a fused ankle. 100 pounds or 90 pounds. You know, these folks are people that picked up P90X who should have really picked up Power 90 for that matter. But they were willing to learn. You know, it's about learning. It's about patience. It's about enjoying the journey. So what we've done is we've extended the journey, you know, into a whole new realm.
Now, you know, in that little preview, we saw some pretty intense moves, and I think that shiny new thing always gets a lot of attention. And there will be many people who are like, I'm going to do that one first. Now, does this replace P90X?
No, not at all. You know, it's an extension of P90X. It's just basically more muscle confusion, you know, plain and simple. You know, you can start P90X2 cold, I don't know if you're pretty athletic. Kind of like, it's the same, similar, I would make the same distinction between Insanity and Asylum. I think a lot of people never saw Insanity, just jumped into Asylum when they were ready, I mean, they had to take their time. Same thing here, I think, with P90X2. It's going to challenge you, I think, in some respects more, but in some respects it'll feel a lot like P90X2.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we've seen is that people build a really incredible baseline of fitness with P90X, and a lot of these moves, very athletic moves, will really require the major muscle strength that you get from P90X, sort of the basic, some of the isolated stuff that you get from P90X to really make P90X2 all it can be. So from a coaching perspective, we actually put a lot of great care into making sure that we weren't making P90X an orphan out there. It's still an important component to the overall story. In fact, personally, I think Power 90 is still the best gateway into the series.
Yeah!
It really is. We open up a lot of doors with Power 90. I mean, obviously, it was the first thing of its kind. Everybody in the industry said, what are you, crazy? 6 days a week in healthy food, you're not going to sell that. But, you know, we sold authentic, real stuff. You know, a lot of people sat at home and went, that looks hard, I want to do that. It's hard, it makes you all kind of crazy. I love that, you know? It's a beautiful thing. And so as Power 90 was the gateway to P90X, P90X, you know, P90X is the gateway to P90X2.
Right. Okay, so give us a snapshot, the general construction of the program, phases. You mentioned, talk about 5 days a week versus 6, and what sort of equipment you need. Just give us an overall.
Well, it's 90 days, just like with P90X, but like with P90X, you can keep going. I mean, you can keep developing through P90X2. I still do. I've been doing P90X2 routines for months and months and months, and I really enjoy it. There's a foundation phase, which is kind of critical because you're adding stability balls and medicine balls and balance, and you know, you get your 2 hands on a medicine ball and 2 feet on a medicine ball. You know, it's going to take some time for all that connective tissue.
Don't do this workout on a hill.
Yeah. You just throw yourself right down into the river. But, so, you know, it's a learning phase, really, more than anything else. And then the second phase is the strength phase, which is going to feel a lot like P90X. There'll be some things that will be similar, but there'll also be new things that will blow your mind. And the last phase, which is, you know, we'll talk about PAP, the complexes in a second with Marcus, but that's the performance stage. That's when, you know, you are really pushing the envelope and you are doing things physically that you probably couldn't do in the first month, because you need that foundation, you need that strength phase, and when you finally get to the performance phase, that's when you really turn it on. And, ironically, that's when your body starts to look like an athlete. I mean, your delts and your arms and your glutes, and I mean, it's crazy how people change. And their focus is not how much weight am I going to lose this week, but how can I get better? How can I do an extra push-up? How can I do another one of those crazy circle pull-ups that Tom wants me to do? And as a result of focusing on getting better, that's how your body changes in appearance.
Now, how about 5 days a week? I mean, there was a lot of debate at the office about taking.
I was hoping. What?
Yeah.
But then I sat down with Marcus and I sat down with Isabel and you and all the research that we did, you know, and we discovered that when you're turning up the volume like this, it's really about active recovery, active rest. A lot of people don't know what that is. You know, we give you a rest day with P90X, and the vast majority of people just, you know, sleep till noon. You know what I mean?